Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to our stream on OKcontract. So I will wait for some people to come in and then we will get started. Okay, so let me share the stream link and then we will be set to go. Okay, I hope everything is fine on your end. Okay, so all right. So I will wait for some people to come in because we want this stream to be as interactive as possible, and um, and we will build some great stuff, and we will learn what OKcontract is, and what we can achieve with OKcontract interactions, and on OKcontract's interaction hub. So it's an important tech, and even Vitalik Buterin mentioned it on one of the crypto conferences. He said that we actually as the OKcontract actually generates front ends autonomously without requiring any HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. And so it creates a safe and reliable middleware for developers and users and AI agents as well. So okay, so I think people are coming in, and then I think we can get started. Okay, so today let's talk about our task, what we will do, and okay, so today we will actually create an interaction specification for OKcontract on OKcontract Interactions Hub. And the details of the interaction specification, we will talk more on that later. But first, before diving into building our interaction, we will actually learn about what OKcontract is and what interactions are. So I think we can dive in. Okay, so OKcontract is actually leading the development of automated tools that create smart contract front ends, and by this way, we actually maintain a trustworthy library of smart contract front ends. So, for example, let's say we have a blockchain protocol, and on that blockchain protocol, we want our users to interact with our smart contracts. But uh, we we will actually like create like front end integration codes with smart contract with our smart contract and our front end. So creating those integrations is difficult. Also, there's always some complexity for everyday users, non-crypto native people. They actually have to understand how to connect their wallets, set up a crypto wallet, or they just need to navigate through their way into what they want to do on the front end part. So by this way, I mean, OKcontract just creates the front ends like this, and then it's just very easy to navigate through on the front end part, and we will see more on that later. And what we can also say, like we have a large catalog of smart contract front ends and interactions. We can and you will see in a few minutes there there are a number there are numerous protocols on the OKcontract interactions hub. Yeah. Okay. So do we have any questions? You can always ask your questions and we can talk more on them. Okay, so I think we can say, like, lastly, OKcontract interactions create a safe and reliable space for users and AI agents to interact with smart contracts. the complexities of DeFi frontends or crypto frontends in general are abstracted away um, for the users, and users can also be protected from malicious links with the malicious frontends on the crypto side. And lots of people get scammed with phishing links, so you need to be really careful about that. And I think that's all. And I think that it's not all. I also need to mention one more thing about AI agents. Okay, so if you want your AI agent create to interact with smart contracts, what what do you usually do? I mean, LLMs create interactions for you, but that's not a safe way to do it, because they can AI agents could always make mistake. So we need to be protected. And also the agent could always like interact with the wrong address. So we need a trustworthy library, a trustworthy catalog of smart contract interactions, so that we remain in a safe space. And we have to do it. So to make the users and agents secure. So I think we can proceed with creating our interaction. Okay, so firstly, I would like to show you. Wait a second, please. Okay, so I will. Yeah. Wait a second. Yes, I think it will be better. Okay, so here is the website, OKcontract, and safe automated infrastructure for agentic systems. Not only agentic systems, but also for developers and users as well. So OKcontract is building automated composable infrastructure and code generator tools that let autonomous agents execute on-chain and off-chain tasks transparently and securely. And as you can see, you can take a more look into it on the website. So, but what we are interested in for today is this part, OKcontract Interactions Hub. And you can access this website through this link, app.okcontract.com. Okay, so as you can see, I told you that there we have a large catalog of interactions. For example, for DeFi, you can see that we can deposit USDC on Aave on Base, or let's say you want to swap wrapped ETH into USDC, let's say. And as you can see, you can also do that on Base, on Sushi Swap. And you can see the contract definitions here. And then, as you can see, let's go in here. We can connect our wallet first. Okay, so we can just reload. Yes, okay, there you go. So as you can see, it's this simple. You have the interaction information, Sushi version 2 by USDC on Base. You can see the owner, the ID of the owner, and you see the specifications of the interaction. And you will see some stuff, method, preconditions, title elements, etc. So, however, for today, swapping will be covered in a later video, but for today, we will actually focus on a very simple thing. For example, wait, I also would like to show you other things. For example, AI tokens interactions. OKcontract has a separate section for it. If you want to buy a virtual, then you can just buy virtual by just clicking on this front end. And then as a user, you can just go on here and select how many virtuals you want to have. And then you're just swapping it, and that's all. Okay, so as you can see, there's a large catalog of interactions. There is right now 60 interactions, and more interactions will be added soon. For example, for synthetics, there is a fee pool transaction. For QuickSwap or Uniswap or Aave or Curve or on OKcontract, you can actually create a free NFT collections on chain. So it's that simple. If you're a creator who wants to create NFTs with just a button click, then you can just go on OKcontract, and OKcontract handles the smart contract generation and transaction creation uh, on its own, so users don't have to deal with it. You just sign the transactions and that's it. And as you can see, the method, name method, and also the parameters here. Okay, so also you can see the smart contracts. You see the iRedROM protocol, Alchemix, Arbitrum Bridge. There's 158 smart contracts added here. So I would like to specify this information. Not everybody can add a smart contract here. You need to have a builder role if you want to add if you want to add an interaction. You need to have a role. So not everybody can add an interaction. Also, not everybody can add a smart contract, because the smart contracts could be manipulated to like drain users' funds, right? So that's why there needs to be a mechanism that controls what kind of smart contracts or ABIs are being added on the OKcontract interactions hub, so that users, agents, and developers are staying safe on this platform. And if you want to add a smart contract, let's say if you want to add your protocol, or if the protocol is added and you want to add another contract for that protocol, then you just fill out a form. As you can see, there's an email, organization name, and there's a bunch of information that you need to fill out. And let's say you post also the smart contract official docs URL. And then on the next page, you also share the smart contract codes or ABI, etc. So you need to fill these out if you want to add a smart contract. And if you want your users or your agents interact with the smart contract that you want to add, you just come here and fill out the form, and OKcontract team will evaluate your entry, and then it will be added, hopefully. Okay, so as you can see, we have balancer, chainlink, compound, lots of protocols. All right. So if you go on the interactions part, on the tokens part, also you can see that there is a bunch of tokens that are added. Not bunch, actually. There's a lot of tokens added, 1,835. And let's say if I want to check if there's any USDC token that is added, you just go on here. As you can see, it's added on multiple chains. As you can see, we have Ethereum, we have Arbitrum, OKExChain, Base, and Avalanche. And you can even see the ABIs for the USDC token on Ethereum, let's say. As you can see, there is a bunch of stuff, but we will go more into this later. And also, this is the same case for interactions, for contracts. Let's say we have Aave, layer 2 pool, version 3. And Avalanche is not a layer 2. I think we will fix that. And however, for this contract, yeah, as you can see, on Arbitrum, Optimism, and Avalanche. So as you can see, its status is active, and the organization is Aave, and it's added on multiple chains. So it's multi-chain. Yes. So I think I will show you today's topic. So, okay, so I think we can just start with taking a look into this. Our deposit on USDC version 3. Okay, so when we think about why users deposit USDC on Aave, because there's actually yield with Aave, on Aave, right? You deposit your USDC on Aave and you actually lend it to somebody else. And let's say I lend some USDC on Aave and I'm earning yield. And somebody else is borrowing that USDC by actually putting in some tokens as collateral, and they're actually paying a borrowing borrowing rate, borrowing interest on that borrowed amount of USDC. So they're actually paying for borrowing my USDC. That's how I'm earning a yield, right? So we can actually check these yield rates on their website. Yes. Okay, so I think we can connect our wallets. So as you can see, currently we are on the Avalanche market. And as you can see, I have 6.48 USDC, and the yield for it is 2.88%. So I'm earning a percentage of 2.88 on my USDC yearly, annually. For Avalanche, for example, it's 1.08%, so it's less. For example, let's say show assets with zero balance. So let's see other things. For example, for wrapped ETH, we have more yield. So, but it's bridged ETH on Avalanche. So, for example, for USDT, it's much more than USDC. It's 3.28%. And for example, for Frax, it's isolated. I don't think we can deposit into this. Okay. Yeah, okay. They have limited borrowing power. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, for example, this S staked Avalanche, it does not have it it doesn't have any yield, but as a reward, I think for the merit program, it has 0.42 APR. So, however, let's say if you don't want to be affected from the uh, f- from the volatility in the crypto market, and if you want to stay in USDC, if you want to have a stable coin for it, then it's understandable and you can still earn a yield on it. So that's why we actually need these types of front ends so that agents and developers and users can have a safe like middleware for interacting with the Aave or other DeFi platforms. Okay, so we will actually take a look into it. For example, okay, I actually right now I have 1.7 USDC deposited already, and I will just come here, let's say, and see what's happening. Okay, so its contract is Aave Pool version 3, and method is deposit, and as an allowance, it says asset, which is defined here, as you can see, and but what it means by asset is actually the USDC token, and the amount will be checked on allowances. And as a precondition, amount has to be greater than zero, because we should not be able to deposit zero USDC. We shouldn't have to do that. So that's why we need to check it so that users don't do any unnecessary transactions or agents. And for AR values, we can also add title elements as well, as you can see. Aave version 3 lent USDC. And for AR values, parameter values. So this deposit method actually requires a couple of parameters that need to be put in order to interact with the AVE contract, which is amount. The amount is actually the asset as a number. So this part is amount. And for the asset part, it's USDC token chain. We will take a more look into this. And on behalf of is self, the wallet address of the connected wallet. The recipient is the user itself, and the referral code is 0. So we don't have to deal with this now. So also for the team and connection screens, we can see the dark mode is true, background, accent color, button background, and text color. We can set these things as well. We can even add a gradient on the front end. And once you access the front end through this ID, then it automatically loads in as this front end with the team and connection screens and texts, title elements, etc. Everything. OKcontract handles it for you, your front end. And as you can see, we have the React SDK. So you can go and create a React project, and if you import the necessary libraries, and then if you import also the interaction IDs and put these codes, copy and paste these codes, then this front end will appear on your website for users to interact or for agents to use. All right, so we can go on the, for example, Aave pool version 3. So for you, I previously interacted with the Aave contract, okay? And we can go on the snowscan.xyz address. You can actually go here. So we will be actually working on Avalanche mainnet. So this was for base. However, if we want to do this for Avalanche, then what's going to happen, right? So for Avalanche, let's say we have this Aave pool version 3, right? So we go on here. I actually created this transaction through here. So let's say we supply, let's switch networks. We supply 1 USDC, okay? So we approve USDC first. We don't need to do this. We just approve 1. And then we confirm the transaction because I want to earn yield on my USDC. I go on here, supplying USDC. So let's say if you were a user, you would have to deal with all those malicious links. There, let's say you click on a wrong link, then what happens? Your funds are drained. So you don't have to like navigate the Avalanche market, navigate the yields. I mean, OKcontract generates the front end for you, so you don't have to try to find a secure Aave link, or you don't have to navigate through all these markets, governance, staking. You don't have to deal with all those things. All right, so I actually supplied 42 seconds ago, as you can see, and I supplied 1 USDC, and I got approximately 1 Aave Avalanche USDC deposit token. So we have actually 4 parameters: asset, amount, on behalf of, and referral code. I mean, this one has the deposit method, but it doesn't matter. They don't differ much. So as you can see, this is the contract address. So we will copy this. And the first thing that we need to do while building an interaction is you just go on the contract part and you paste the contract address. And as you can see, we found one. So we have 3 same contract address on 3 different chains: Arbitrum, Optimism, and Avalanche. So what we want to do here, what we want to do is that if our contract address was not here, we would have to fill out this form that I showed you before. So I don't want to go into that, but if it's not found on this list, then you need to fill out the form. Okay, so let's see the ABI. Let's see what kind of functions there are. So as you can see, we have multiple functions that you find in a typical smart contract. Let's say we have borrow. We can use our deposit USDC as collateral and borrow some tokens. Maybe ETH. Maybe you want to you don't want to sell your USDC, but you think that Avalanche price is going to rise, then you borrow some Avalanche to make profits, and then you pay it back. So these things can be done. For example, deposit part. As you can see, we have the asset. The asset is not my wallet. It is actually USDC, and you can see that we can actually enter the amount here, and on behalf of our referral code. I mean, these, for example, this referral code does not make any sense, and users shouldn't have to deal with entering those things, entering those parameters. So for example, for our part is supply. So for supply is, for example, invalid address USDC. So users need to find the, okay, so let's come here. Users need to find the USDC token address here. Yes. And then enter the amount. On behalf of is my wallet. And referral code is 0, right? So for example, if we had allowance for the ABI contract for our USDC tokens, then we would have no problem supplying it. But we need to allow it first, right? But we don't have to function for it. So we need to create a separate interaction specification for Avalanche for depositing our USDC on ABI Avalanche. All right. So what we need to do is we can actually customize an interaction based on this, right? We just go on the customize interaction and that's it. So let's say we want to do is deposit, let's enter the interaction name, deposit USDC on Aave Avalanche, let's say. Okay. And what we want to do is that we have the supply. Okay, we also need to enter the allowance part and the preconditions part. But firstly, we need to define the AR values. Okay, so let's come in here, and the AR values are actually the parameters that we need to enter. Okay, so the address asset. So asset is USDC USDC address, USDC contract address, this part, right? So as you can see, it's 0xB97 and same thing. All right, so let's enter asset, and we can see it here as well. Asset is, let's close it, and its type will be token chain, right? And the expression is now, because we are on the Avalanche network, we can search the tokens on Avalanche because its type is also token chain. So what we want to search for is USDC. As you can see, we have USDC and USDC.E, which is bridged USDC, but we want to have access to the native USDC. So that's done. So next thing is, let's slide it here, amount. So amount is, so its type is number, right? Its type is number. And its expression, so its amount definition is what? It's asset, because the amount of USDC that we're very interested in the amount of USDC. And it will, this one will make more sense. Trust me. So on behalf of is ourself, which is our recipient address, which is the connected vault address. And for the referral code part, it will be 0 because I mean we can even enter our own wallet address here, but I don't want to do it. I just want to enter 0. I don't want to share my referral code or etc. Okay. So as you can see, we have the front end now, but we don't know if it works. But we need to define more things now. So let's say we can add the intent. So what does this intent do? So what this intent does is actually to allow the AI agents to browse through a large catalog of interactions. Let's say your AI agent wants to earn some yield tokens, earn some yield on your tokens. Let's say your token is USDC. So it can actually look for depositing USDC intents. So which is the asset part. So this asset is USDC, as you can see. So we actually have a graph of elements. The deposit intent is for Avalanche. It is linked to USDC. That's why the agent can actually find it very easily. All right. So if you want to have a dark mode, we can have it, but for now it's not necessary. So for the background part, let's make it better. So now we can go on Aave. Maybe the background could be this color, right? So I use this tool, ColorZilla, and I pick the color from the page. So this part, right? So the color is actually copied to the clipboard. So it's this one, 2A, 2D, 3C. It actually sounds cool, 2A, 2D, 3C. Okay, we have this color, and we can actually enter the color code here as well. But we cannot paste it. Also, 2A, 2D, 3C. Two A, 2D, 3C. Yes. So for this, we need to have the dark mode on. So it's kind of looks like Aave, right? Okay, so maybe we can have this gradient as well. I don't know if this ColorZilla detects gradients, but we can actually CSS gradient generator. Okay, we are not interested in this. And maybe we can just have this as the button color. This one. We have this gradient, maybe this one, right? 2EB9C5. So for this, maybe it could be button background. Yeah. To EB9C5. To EB9C5. And for the other color that we are interested in, maybe this one. Yeah, which is AE559F. AE559F. Yes, so I think it looks fine, right? Also the text color, we want it to be white. Yeah. I think this looks fine. But first, we need to add the allowance part. Yeah. Okay. For allowance part, we want to actually allow USDC, right? So that's why we enter USDC and we enter amount first. And what we will do next is add the precondition. So we don't want our users to deposit zero amount of tokens, right? So that's why we need to enter amount should be greater than 0. And that's it. And actually for this part, it could be fully white. I think this looks fine, but next thing that we should do is title elements. So we can add a title element, which could be deposit USDC on Avalanche, right? It could be this one. Maybe you can also add a button name, not supply, maybe deposit. It could be changed. And we can even add the information text here as well. So we can there you go. But we don't want to do that. All right. So so that's it. So we can test it out now. So it's currently a bit slow because all of the changes that are happening in the front-end specification, it's being saved in the memory. That's why it's a bit slow, but it will be optimized soon. So let's create it. Okay, so in order to create this, okay, we also have some things that will be fixed, but what we can do is this one. We actually saved this, right? Wait. Okay, wait a second. So on a separate page, I will go here, import. Yes, so I would like to write this. Retrieve, right? All right, so let's write it. Okay, no problem. You can actually come here and okay, so let's say okay, for now the creating part is a bit problematic, but it will be fixed soon. No problem at all, because OKcontract team is working so hard on releasing working on new releases. So some things might break. Okay, let's say I want to deposit 1 USDC, right? And once you do this, you just click on enter, and then you approve. Now, as you can see, the spending cap is 1 because we are allowing for 1 USDC to be spent. Okay, so we approved it. We will wait for some time for the transaction to be confirmed. Okay, so it's confirmed. Now it will be deposited. So let's say we confirm the transaction. Now the transaction is actually successful. So we can just go on the transaction and see if it actually worked. And it actually did, because we can also verify that on Aave frontend as well. So we just okay. So as you can see, we had 2.7 USDC deposit. Now it's 3.7. So we actually deposit 1 USDC thanks to OKcontract's interaction hub. So it was really easy. So if you have a crypto protocol uh, who wants to generate front ends this easily for your users, and you don't have to deal with creating these front ends at the very start, or if you want the AI agents to access these transactions safely and reliably, then OKcontract is the place for it, as you could see. So it's this easy. So adding the interaction part to the catalog is a bit problematic, and not everybody can add it as well. So it's fine, but we will cover that part on our next video. But it's not a big deal. You just click on create and it's added to your library of interactions. But it will be fixed soon, no worries. Okay, so I think this was the end of our session. Okay, let me stop screen sharing. And I hope that you liked the stream, and I hope that that was beneficial for you. And in our upcoming videos and streams, we will cover more interactions, more protocols, more chains, and the interactions will get more complex, because as you, and you could also see it on the interactions hub. You saw step one of the interaction, right? So we can actually have multiple steps. For example, for this video, we actually deposited some USDC, but we did not actually cover how we could borrow. Maybe, for example, we deposit USDC and you want to borrow AVAX tokens. You can actually do that in a single transaction. For example, you deposit 10 USDC and you want to borrow $5 worth of AVAX tokens, and you can actually do it with OKcontract. So you don't have to create separate interactions for them. You can just achieve it in a single transaction, which is awesome. And I hope that you liked the stream, and I will see you in the upcoming streams. So take care. Bye.